Hello and welcome back to appianseekho. I hope you guys are doing good. Today we will learn how to enter custom text in a picker field that is not already in the predefined list and add it to the list. So without any further delays, let's get started. Firstly, let's revisit the rule we created in our previous video to understand how it all comes together. So here we have defined local users, which contains a list of all the users we want to search through. And you might also notice that the list is surrounded by curly braces. That's how Appian defines a list. Next, in the local filtered users, we are using difference function to compare the two lists. Local users, which is the full list of users, and RI selected user, the list of users that have been selected in the picker. And this function is gonna return a new list containing only the elements that exist in local users but not in RI selected users. So basically this result will be a list of users who are not selected in the picker. Now we want to find certain users in the list based on a substring search. To do this we will use search function. Alright, let's move on to how we can search through these users. In our case we are looking for users whose name contains a specific substring. Here we use the abang for each function to loop through each user in local filtered users. The FV item represents the current user in the loop, and for each user we are applying the search function. The search function checks if the substring, let's say J, appears in the current user's name. If the substring is found, it returns the index of the first character of the first match. If not, it returns 0. And this entire function is wrapped inside where function, which returns the indices of the elements where the value is true. Let me show you by taking an example. As you can see, I have provided true false as the list, and it only returns the index of the elements where the value is true. If I pass false false as the list, it returns null because no element within this list holds the value as true. So if the search function returns 0, the value of that item would be false. If it returns anything apart from 0, the value of that item would be true. Lastly, I have created a data subset using abang data subset function, which allows you to specify the records, or you can say data, that you want to show in a picker along with the labels and identifiers. Label is what the user will see and the identifier is the value stored when an option is selected. Now let's navigate to the interface and try typing a character J into the picker to see if it matches any existing options. As you can see, there are already options that start with J, such as John and Jim. But J is not part of the options currently available in this picker, right? So now let's see how we can add this new entry to the list and ensure it's available for selection. So when we type in, that value gets stored in this rule input called search text, right? And we want the same value to be available as an option in the list. So to achieve that, we will use append function to append RI search text to the existing array. So whatever this rule input holds, that will be appended to my existing list. Okay. So now if I go back to the picker and try to test this out, we will see that J is now included as an option. And also it's getting stored in this local variable called selected user. You can remove it and select it along with the existing available options. I hope you guys are with me so far. So now the next milestone is to allow users to add the entered text as a new entry only when no match is found. So basically if you try typing a unique character or text that doesn't match any of the current options, so this means the picker should allow us to add it as a new entry when there are no options that match with the entered text. Let's do that now. So if your picker says no match found, that means local matches is null or empty, right? The substring doesn't match any of the current options. So if local matches is null or empty, we will need to define another data subset that would only contain the entered text, the typed text as the label, and it will be shown in the picker as an option for the user to select. Okay, and I'll do the same with the identifiers, because if it is displayed to the user, we want the same value to be stored as well, right? If it is not null or empty, data subset will remain as it is, displaying its current list of options. I'll quickly get rid of this append function because we don't need this anymore. That's because if the selection is already available, I don't want users to add new entries, right? We are good to save our changes, and let's go back to the picker. We'll type J in the picker. As you can see, there are already some existing matches available, right? Before we allow a new entry. Now, if I add A to my search with no match found, we should be able to proceed and add JA as a new selection. So if a match is found, the picker will not add the text. However, if no match exists, the new entry can be added successfully. Hope this helps. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Appian tutorials. Cheers. Bye-bye.